My name's Bill Nicol. I'm Head of Adult Safeguarding for NHS Derbyshire County and Derbyshire City PCT. My role involves the protection of vulnerable adults from abusive behaviour in practice, and an intrinsic part of that is the need for partnership working between a variety of agencies across the county. Derbyshire Fire Service is one of those partners, and it's very important that we work closely together to make sure that we protect people in the best ways possible. Recently, we've forged some excellent partnership relations with the fire service, and I think it's become apparent to us all how we can work together and share information which is pertinent and relevant to keep people safe within their own home. I know, for example, recently the Derbyshire Look Up campaign has made sure that agencies and staff from a variety of settings have been able to refer people who may need, for example, a simple fire alarm to keep them safe. But at the same time, we've also received information from the fire service which would indicate that people could be kept safe in other ways and perhaps are at risk from a variety of factors. So sharing of information is crucial. Abuse, for example, thrives on secrecy, and unless we're prepared to work together, then there's no way that we can guarantee the safety of the most vulnerable people across the county of Derbyshire.
My name's Hickton. I'm the Service Manager for Prevention at Derbyshire County Council in the Adult Care Department. My role is about helping to develop services that help older people in particular, but also vulnerable adults, and support them to remain independent in their own homes for as long as they wish, really. The work that we've done with Derbyshire Fire Rescue Service is mostly focused on the handy van network development, which was a project that we started around about 5.5 years ago when I started with Derbyshire County Council. The main aim of my role was to draw together a partnership group to develop a consistent handy van network across the whole of the county of Derbyshire. That partnership included Derbyshire Fire Rescue Service, the district and borough councils, as well as the county council and the charity and voluntary sector. And we worked with existing handy van services in various guises, and with those particular groups and the others, we drew together a consistent service level agreement. Where Derbyshire Fire Rescue Service were important in this role was in the initial commitment to funding 8 vans across the whole of the county, one for each of the district and borough councils. This was key because that commitment to the funding started the ball rolling for other people to actually commit more fully to the partnership. As we go forward, long term, the handy vans have benefited greatly from Derbyshire Fire and Rescue Services support in the long term, and that's the continuation of the commitment to actually supporting the vans themselves through the maintenance, the fuel and the road tax, but also in the wider aspects of the network itself, whether that be in the steering groups and having staff attending at those meetings, in how we gather the targets and how we work with the handy vans themselves, the operatives, with the local fire and rescue teams in their areas, about ensuring that the home fire safety checks are up to date and relevant, that we reduce the backlogs, and that we work with the local teams in ensuring that those smoke alarms are where they need to be, and that people have those exit strategies from a fire in their homes. So we feel that the work that we've done with that partnership has been very much key in keeping us a very successful network.
My name's Robert Hill. I'm the manager of Derby and Derbyshire Road Safety Partnership. Derbyshire Fire and Rescue Service have been a key player with the partnership for the last 4 years, in particular leading on young driver casualties. We have a particular problem in Derbyshire and nationally actually with young driver road traffic collisions, and that element is particularly difficult to engage with, and Derbyshire Fire and Rescue Service have a particular skill, I think, in engaging with that group, hence leading on that priority for us. It is still a key priority, and Derbyshire Fire Rescue Service have aided us in a number of ways. I think one of the key things, as I said, is engaging with young people, and that's done through a number of events, using community fire stations, for instance, to engage with people who live locally, or helping us with events throughout the county. And day-to-day work as well, in terms of developing a young driver education package and supporting that, and going into schools and colleges with that package to deliver it to those young people most at risk, who are either thinking about learning to drive or have just started driving. So it's really getting those people at the time they're most at risk, and when we can access them through schools and colleges, which again, those people are quite pleased to get in Derbyshire Fire and Rescue Service, whether it's because of the engagement that's happened elsewhere, or because they see the fire crews there, and that adds some excitement to quite a lot of people in that age group, and they can demonstrate things like vehicle extrications through simulating road traffic collisions. Done that at a number of events, such as at Chesterfield College, where it's worked particularly well, involving other partners, and things like the air ambulance. And again, it creates those kind of visual impacts that young drivers, young people in particular, hopefully will remember, and then it also take that message home and remember around the kind of issues that can happen if they do either drive too fast or inappropriately. I think as well, Derbyshire Fire Rescue recently have helped coordinate messages around RTCs themselves through having a key post, an RTC officer, and working with the community safety teams generally. So we feel like it's easier to get a message across. We know who to contact, and we know that those messages will be delivered in a more uniform way.
My name is Lukasz Gazda, and I'm outreach officer for Derbyshire Constabulary, engaging with migrant communities in Derbyshire.
My name is Todd, and I work with Lukasz Gazda on this project.
Together with Fire and Rescue Service, we've organised a variety of engagement events, whether there were consultation meetings with migrant communities in Chesterfield, or engagement events and community events in other areas such as Ilkeston, Long Eaton or Shirebrook. What was good about them is we've raised awareness amongst newly arriving communities about home fire safety, and we've also generated home fire safety checks for members of migrant communities.
As part of our partnership with Derbyshire Fire and Rescue Service, we've been compiling some leaflets that are designed to tell new arrivals about different services available in Derbyshire. As part of our project, this was more about UK laws and customs. However, as part of that, we thought it was vital to include some information about emergency services as well as the police. So we extended it to include local council, healthcare, accommodation, employment, children and education, driving, travel and currency and residency. There was also the emergency services leaflet, which Derbyshire Fire and Rescue Service contributed to greatly. They did a whole section on the fire service, identifying just basically what the fire service do, more importantly how they work in the community, and also some fire safety prevention techniques for in the house. Derbyshire Fire and Rescue Service also helped to get the leaflets out to different partners for feedback on what they thought should be included and what not to include. So this became a very much a joint partnership, and they also helped to organise a launch event to give out the leaflets to these partners.
We all know that the partnership between two of the organisations, Derbyshire Constabulary and Derbyshire Fire and Rescue Service, has been successful for many years, and what I want to emphasise, and I strongly believe that this partnership will continue and will be delivering exceptional service to the residents of Derbyshire County.
I think what's important is that the fire service and the police work together across the districts. At the minute this has been very much a county-wide approach, but hopefully we've provided them with the resources to be able to continue working with this hard-to-reach group of migrant communities within each of the areas as well. And I think the fire service in particular will be able to continue with this, identifying different houses under the electoral role of Eastern Europeans where they can deliver home fire safety checks to.